Welcome, my tarot friends, in yet another episode of our series Under the Magnifying Glass, where we are looking at the Herbcrafter tarot. Today we are looking at number 8. Firstly, we're going to talk about number 8 in tarot in general, and then we're going to look into each card in the minor arcana, where I'm going to share with you my thoughts and my feelings and my observations when I journeyed into each of them by myself. And in the end, we're going to then look also into the two major arcana cards that correspond with number 8. So let's just start, shall we? Number 8 in tarot represents abundance, manifestation, and also dealing with your karma. It talks about the evolution of ever becoming. If you look at the number 8, it looks like an hourglass, mixing two realms of spirit and matter. 8 is associated with rebirth and new beginnings, making this a time for you to align your will with your destiny. It is a number of karma, embodying the law of cause and effect. 8 is also about bringing your being and soul in balance with the divine. You have been through challenges where you tried to rid yourself of the old baggage and patterns. But before you're allowed to pass through this portal of rebirth or initiation, you have to confront the darkest parts of yourself, which will bring you spiritual strength. Number 8 is also a gateway to yet another level of spiritual understanding, dying of the old and awakening to a higher self. It symbolizes the creative, rational mind, channeling cosmic energy into manifestation, where one taps into deep well of inner wisdom. In 8s, the logical mind comes into balance with the spiritual part of yourself, like intuition and cosmic intelligence. In 8s, you will discover your inner truth and courage to face your fears, weaknesses, and blocks with spiritual stamina, purity, faith, love, and courage. Thus, your lust for life becomes powerful. In 8s, you walk the labyrinth of life, and spirit coming to the center, talking to the divine, and then taking that knowledge out into the world. One is being called to a high purpose and high consciousness in the 8s. If we look into the guidebook in the Herbcrafter tarot, it says that 8 is related to roots, empowerment, and determination. In other words, tenacity, other word for determination. These are plants whose roots are used as medicine. They can be difficult to grow because they need a few years to establish themselves before they can be sustainably harvested. They are harvested in autumn when it is cold and wet. We must work hard to get their medicine. 8s represent an internal challenge. The Herbcrafter has to accept her higher calling from the trees, but is now questioning her ability to fulfill her destiny. So she is in that state of mind when she's not too sure about herself. Also, I am using the pronouns her and she here because this is how they describe it in the guidebook. In truth, obviously, the Herbcrafter can be anyone. He, she, they, anyone. So the herbs of the 8s pull her into a deeper exploration as the Herbcrafter confronts her relationship to her own nature. In 8s, the Herbcrafter is faced with speaking her truth, trusting her instincts, and walking away and restoring her self-worth. She gets to the root of each of her weaknesses, and that grounds and strengthens her for the challenges ahead. How amazing is that? So she gets to the root of each. And it's funny because we do have roots here, isn't it? It's so good how they created this deck. And in the end, it says that 8s spark action that leads to true self-awareness. Wow. So we thought that the 7s are challenging, but the 8s are also challenging, and they bring us to the even higher self-awareness. Okay, let's look into the 8 of air, licorice, first. So the first thing that I noticed was this huge arch. Obviously, it's very in your face, isn't it? It blocks the view to the blue, beautiful sky at the back. And to me, that means that something is blocking us to see things clearly. A lot of the plants here look very messy and like they need to be cut down or cut back. And to me, that represents messy thoughts. So they're growing just everywhere in all the directions. So this could mean that our thoughts are scattered, that our thoughts are growing in different directions, that we are confused. We can see that the wooden gate here is opened. And that to me means that we do have a choice to leave this messy place we're at and walk towards freedom, behind the wall, behind the arch. And you can see that there's freedom behind because there's like a very open meadow and blue sky. If we look at the arch made of stones, we can see that it's very worn out and old, and it's slowly breaking down. So that might represent our mind's building blocks that are old and don't serve us anymore, and are breaking away and need to break away and need to fall away. As always, I look at the colors, right? So we see that these flowers here are purple, which I associate with the crown chakra. It could mean connecting to the divine, might give us guidance on how to tend to our garden and when it is the time to walk away. And then if we look into the guidebook, the first 3 points are: know your limits and respect them, proclaim your truth, walk out through the gates. What holds us back is not always clear. Are you feeling fenced in by the circumstances of your life? Staying isolated might seem safe, but could become a prison of your own making. And it's very interesting because I always read 8 of Air as something that you mentally created yourself, like blocks or thoughts that are preventing you to move forward, but they were created by you. Then it continues: know your limits. There is no shame in saying no. Licorice heals the vocal cords. I had no idea about this. So having an internal dialogue might have silenced you, but your body can no longer hold your story inside. Speak your truth aloud to others. It will give you power. Take responsibility for your thoughts and clear a path to freedom. And the freedom is so beautifully symbolized here with this blue sky and the open green meadow at the back. A power shared is a power multiplied. Licorice medicine is soft and sweet. Be the same towards yourself as you meet your boundaries head on. And I find this very interesting because you will see in all the cards here, it mentions some sort of boundaries or limits, which connects us to the number 4s, right? And we have 4 times 2 is 8, so that makes sense. Now crafting with the licorice. Drink licorice tea to strengthen your voice, and write a thank you note to friends who hold the gates of compassion open when you feel trapped. Oh, and this relates so beautifully. I'm gonna say it right now already because it does relate so beautifully to our strength card. We know that strength card is all about being strong but kind and compassionate at the same time, and what we were describing here, what was described here in the guidebook, so beautifully connects to the strength card. Being strong but kind, compassionate, strengthen your voice. You know, it's amazing the way they've done this. Now if you look at 8 of Fire, which is ginger here. So my observations were that a lot is happening in this scene. It is a very busy, energetic scene. We see fire, obviously, so that talks about fire suit. And it looks like the person who is cooking is actually struggling and burning something. So they have a lot to manage here in this moment. They're dealing with a lot, like I said. We have veggies have been thrown out. There's something boiling here. They're frying something in this pan. So what is needed here is focus and organization. And also we need to be strong in this circumstance here because a lot is happening, which again relates beautifully to our strength card here, which I'm going to just leave here because there are a few more things. Ginger strengthens our immune system. I know about that, and it also wakes you up. If you ever had like a ginger shot, you will know this. It like gives you focus and strength and wakes you up in a moment. So ginger helps us to come back to a present moment, and so should we focus on all the things coming our way and stay strong in a busy situation. The oil on the side triggers the word smoothness in my mind, perhaps finding a way to manage the situation in the smoothest way possible. We also see limes here and green onions and obviously ginger, and all these help us stay strong and vital when universe brings us a busy life. I was also thinking about another meaning. So if not a lot is happening in one's life when we're reading this card for them, I feel this card's meaning could also be spice up your life as you are the creator of it. You are the one who is responsible for your own life. So you need to be the one who spices it up if nothing is happening and it's boring. And then if you look at the guidebook, it says adapt swiftly to unexpected changes. You can handle the heat. Act quickly when inspiration strikes. I love that they put a huge importance on the word inspiration here, which I really appreciate because I didn't come up with that myself, so there's something new that I got in the guidebook. So it says, inspiration comes from all directions. Can you handle so many things at once? Everything begs for your attention. Change is happening quickly. Swift action is needed, or you may become overwhelmed. Ginger warms up the body and fires up the energy. Fast, focused moment is key when creative possibilities spin all about you. This is time to respond with urgency. Ginger is a spicy medicine, but you can handle the heat. And then crafting, build up resilience and adapt to unexpected change. Use spicy ginger in cooking. Make ginger elixir. Take it to keep the flames of inspiration burning. When you don't feel inspired, have the ginger with you and it will inspire you. It will burn, from the inside and inspire, which I find really cool. If we go to the next card, which is 8 of Water. My observations for this card were that overall, it is an extremely calm feeling to the scene. It feels like winding down before bedtime. You can feel the warm breeze on your face as the window is open. At least I could. It looks like the person is drinking a tea to calm down and to perhaps let go of thoughts and emotions that don't serve them anymore. The open window feels like a metaphor to let all that doesn't serve us go out of the window, literally. And then we also see the moon here, which triggers the shadow work in my mind. So perhaps diving into the parts of our subconscious that aren't pleasant, but doing so in a safe and calm environment with some warm, calming tea. Oh my gosh, I just noticed something else. We have a square here, we have a square here, we have a square here, and this technically is a square here as well, which again is relation to number 4 and the borders and boundaries. Wow, I'm sorry, I just noticed this. This is not in my notes. Okay, let's continue with this one, sorry. Blue color here reminds me of throat chakra, listening to our subconscious and expressing feelings that are deep within us, bringing them out into the moonlight and transmuting them, thus becoming stronger as a result and hopeful for the healing to start. And this both relate to the Strength card, obviously, and also the Star card. We know that the Star is 17, so 1 + 7 = 8. So we are hopeful for the future and also stronger because we dealt with, things that we had to deal with. We also see a white color in this picture quite a lot. So we have white valerian, we have white pot, white cup, and white curtain here. And to me, white is about purity, clean consciousness, clarity, new starts. Like, the fresh page of the paper, for example. And now let's look into the guidebook. Seek the depths of rest. Sleep is the best meditation, quote by the Dalai Lama. And relax, recover, sleep. The flowers of valerian are star-shaped. Again, relation to the Star card. I had no idea that they're star-shaped. So this is really cool because we have a star-shaped parts of branches when you cut them. The guidebook implies that we might be feeling exhausted and that this makes the simplest things insurmountable. We might feel overextended and very wary. Do we need to step away from our commitments? It asks us to step away, to pull back from it and invite time for retreat like the calming energy of this sanctuary. Valerian tea is used by those who struggle to rest and relax. If a lack of control over a situation has led to constant anxiety, invite sleep and consult the dream time. Slowing down might not be pleasant at first, but it is the only way to become strong again. Again, reference to the Strength card. Do you see how these cards continuously refer to the major arcana cards that are related to the same number? I love this about this deck so much. And then we have crafting points, which are drink valerian tea for deep restful sleep and carry a valerian root in a magic veil to settle anxiety. And again, magic veil, and this card here, the star, is very magical, isn't it? I wish we could see like stars here as well. That would be even like a cherry on top of the cake if that was the case. Anyhow, let's continue with the last card, which is 8 of Earth. So my observations about this card were, I noticed the basket first, and therefore I knew that this is the Earth suit. The turmeric here is being used to color the clothes, and it feels like this is not the first or last batch of the clothes that they are dyeing. Therefore, this person is in a flow state of mastering their craft here being the dyeing of the clothes, right? Orange color relates to sacral chakra, therefore creativity and expression, and also creation. Perhaps we are being asked to be creative and expressive while we are creating. What I noticed is that clothes on the line here are being yellow. So again, a relation to solar plexus chakra this time, which is all about being our true self, being confident of who we are. And who we are is tightly connected to our ancestors and elders. And this is again relation to this basket, because basket is a handmade tool that lasts for generations. And the clothes coloring with turmeric has probably been passed down as well. So this could be a nudge to us to pass down the knowledge to younger generations or other people in our community or in our life. We also see that there's a lot of blue here, and that to me is relation to the throat chakra and communication, which we could again be linking to sharing your knowledge and skills with others. I know that turmeric increases vitality in the body, so again, staying strong was doing the work, looking after ourselves, also staying strong whilst we are mastering our craft. So these are the messages that I got from this beautiful picture. Also, the yellow is not only on the clothes, it's also on the meadow here and on the wall, right? So there's quite a lot of yellows, oranges and blues here. If you remember, in 4 of Earth, we had the willow tree, and the message there was to share your knowledge, to teach others. So, you know, again, relation to the 4s. Okay, from the guidebook it says, let your tasks be an embodied prayer. Do the work. Teach what you know. Again, relation to the 4s. So I got the correct message from this, teaching what we know. And then it continues, dedication leads to mastery. Is your commitment strong enough? Put in the time to master your skills. The longer the fabric soaks in the dye bath, the more vibrant and lasting the colors. So the more time we put into whatever we are creating, the more vibrant and lasting it will be. Hard work can sometimes take its toll and feels frustrating and isolating, but do it anyway. Turmeric stabilizes the body, increasing vitality and strength. Remember to care for yourself at the root, because turmeric is a root. Oh, how cool is that? And again, looking after yourself as well, just like I got from this card. If you're struggling with diminished self-worth, which is solar plexus chakra, by the way, teach your craft to others. Turmeric medicine survives because it has been passed on through generations. Trust the value of helping time-honored traditions alive. Oh my gosh, amazing. And I got the same messages from this. And then for crafting, I chose one point, which is host a turmeric dyeing party, gather community, and teach them what you have learned. How cool is that? Oh my gosh. This deck is everything, I swear. It is so good. Like every single time that I study these cards in depth, because I take the whole week to study these cards, I love this deck even more after, because I can see all the details. I feel often when we read the cards, you know, I have many decks and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I feel we forget to pay attention to the details, to really gather the messages from these specific cards, because every deck is unique and it has something else or something more or to offer, or you know, it gives us a new perspective on the card, and this deck is a huge example of that. Now if you just look into the strength and into the star real quickly, let me share what I gathered from these, and also I looked into the guidebook as well. So for the strength we see garlic, which is known to make our body stronger, and it helps with our immune system, so fighting off the diseases, which means making us stronger, which is perfect for this card. We know that 8 embodies the law of cause and effect, so this applies beautifully in this card. So for example, if we eat good, healthy things like garlic, and we also have honey here, it will affect us in a good way. 8 is also about being bold and standing in your own power, but in a gentle and kind way. So garlic embodies that power, and honey embodies that sweetness, that softness, you know. And we also have rose petals here, which are also very soft. So gentle, soft strength. I also like that this is weaved. So again, relation to the earth here, the traditions, to the earth card, to 8 of earth. Okay, and then if we look into the star card here, it connects to 8 of water, immediately, just color-wise if you look at it. Plus the petal of valerian and branches of the cottonwood, when they're cut, are shaped like the star. We talked about this before. The star connects to number 8 beautifully, as we have the branches above and below that look like the hoops of 8, you know, like up above and then below, which talks about mixing spirit with matter, also cause and effect. We see an open sky full of stars behind the mandala, and this to me speaks of having an open heart and let the waters of healing wash over you. We see stones in the water here. This beautifully connects us again to 8 of water. In the guidebook it says, hope can be found in the darkest moments, and I love that. When finding the cottonwood tree, that means water is near, and beautifully demonstrates that hope that the star card brings. 8 is also about going through hard times, darkness, and coming out on the other side stronger and healed. And I feel these 2 cards connect the meaning of 8 so beautifully. I will leave you with that. Please tell me in the comments below, how did you find the 8s? Did you see anything that I haven't seen? Do you agree with what I said? Do you have something else to add? Do you disagree with anything that I said? I'm always so excited to read them. I will see you all next week when we are gonna be looking at number 9 and the major arcana cards corresponding to number 9. But until then, I hope you have a beautiful day, evening, night, morning, or whatever the time is when you are watching this. See you again soon. Bye bye.